Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Shan and today I've got for you my top 6 tips for homeschooling your children at the moment. Obviously the vast majority of us have children at home now. This is not something we're all used to. My children have actually been out, this is their 4th day. They came out the Wednesday before most other kids because my husband is high risk. So we made the decision to bring both children out of school. So we've got 4 days, nearly the end of the 4th day, 4 days experience of how it's going. So I thought I would impart some of that to you. Obviously I'm in a lucky situation whereby I literally have no work currently. The B&B is not technically closed because the government haven't advised that, but no guests are obviously coming to stay and yeah. So I don't have a job right now. I don't have any income right now. So I am in a position where I can spend my time teaching the children. I appreciate that so many of you will be trying to juggle work and teaching children. And some of these things might not apply to you in that case, but the majority will, I think. So the first one is be patient. Children are not going to react well to change. It's a really unsettling time. Children don't generally react well to change, and this is a huge change. They're not seeing their friends, they're not interacting with people. This is a huge part of being a human being, is that social kind of meeting people, spending time around people, especially for my daughter who literally spends her whole days playing. This is really hard, so be patient. You are not going to slip into a routine on day 1 and be like, ta-da! Or maybe you are, but we didn't. It's not going to be easy, so be patient. Don't shout at them if you can help it. Just understand that they're going through something really difficult and they can also sense your stress. So be as patient as you possibly can with them. This is not an easy thing for any of us. Number 2 is to have a routine. Even if that's a flexible routine, have something that is structured, because children like structure, they like rules, they like routine, they like to know what's happening next, and that makes them feel safe. So in an environment which feels really unsafe, make them feel safe. We have got a routine which we all came up with together. We've stuck it onto the fridge. We stick to it roughly, but obviously sometimes we do something slightly different, and that's absolutely fine. We always make sure at the end of the day we plan what we're going to do the next day. Like maybe we'll do science in the academic time, maybe we'll do English, maybe it's maths. We'll plan it in the evening. So we all get involved in what we're going to do the next day. Certainly with like the exercise, for us it might be walking around the field, it might be football, it might be Joe Wicks, it might be yoga. I'll leave some links below to all the things that we have been doing, but we've really enjoyed doing those, and actually I've been joining in with them and I've really enjoyed that kind of element of exercise into my day. I normally get out most days anyway. Obviously I'm not getting out by myself anymore. Just make sure that that routine can be flexible. Having a routine is great, but if something changes on the day that pushes you out of that routine, then don't worry about it. Also don't worry about like having an inset day or just having a day off or an afternoon off. You know, this is a tough time. Everybody needs to relax. In the afternoons we have got like a quiet time, and I've been joining in with that and just making sure that I sit and read as well, because I need some time too. That leads me on to number 3, which is join in. If you're in a position where you're not working right now and you can join in, then join in. I didn't bring it up. I will show you now. I joined in with a creative time earlier. I did a little bit of colouring. I did the Joe Wicks PE lesson this morning and I really enjoyed it. Wherever I can, I'm joining in too. I think that way it helps them to kind of not see me as this like teacher figure up here, but someone who's there to sit and learn with them, because I don't want to be like this all authoritarian position. I don't really want to be their teacher. You know, this isn't something I've chosen to do. This is something that we're doing because we have to right now. So I want to join in with them where I can so that they can see that I'm doing it too. We're all in it together, in essence. Number 4 is to make time for exercise. When we were writing our timetable, I asked the kids how many breaks they have at school, and they have 3 main ones, but they also have one at lunchtime. So what we did is we put 3 into our routine, and if they finish their lunch early, they can obviously go out and run around and do stuff. But we can also be outside at other times during like creative time. We can be out making a den. We don't have to be inside all the time, especially when it's nice weather. We're obviously not going out from further than our house. We're staying kind of within the confines of where we live. Luckily, we live with a field in front of us and we have a garden where the kids can play. So we are incredibly lucky in that respect. But exercise really is key. So we start our day every day with half an hour of exercise, and then they also have 2 other times when they can go outside and just run around, because you need to get rid of all this energy and stuff, and kids normally do that with playing football with their friends, all that kind of stuff. So they need time to release all that energy that's in there. Number 5 is to write a diary. Now this was something I hadn't really thought about until day 3, I think. I just thought, well, you know what, we're going through an unprecedented period of time, and it would be really interesting for the kids to look back on and to show their grandkids, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I said, well, let's write a diary. And actually today I've decided I'm going to start writing a diary with them as well. So we're all going to sit down this afternoon and write a diary. And I just think that's a really kind of nice thing to do, but it also just means that we kind of got something to look back on how we coped, what we did, how we felt, what our emotions were on different days. So I'm really kind of looking forward to sitting down and doing that diary writing together. Number 6, do not be too hard on yourself. This is tough for everyone. Don't ever feel like you're failing your children because you've got to do some work and you've also got to do these things with the children. It helps for children to be bored every now and again. It helps them to come up with ideas of things to do. It helps them to just grow. Being bored is something we were quite used to as kids because there wasn't the kind of technology and things that there are today. I would say if you can kind of be prepared, then you can download a load of educational apps to the iPad. So in the afternoon we have like an iPad time for 45 minutes, and all they're allowed to access, because I set up parental controls, are educational games. And my daughter's times tables have already come on like leaps and bounds from what they were just a few days ago because she's playing this app, and that can't be bad for them. It really can't. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up about things not going right or to plan. Be prepared for not having any time for yourself. I have never looked or felt so tired as I have whilst home educating my children, because there's just no time for yourself at all. I made sure at the weekend that I took an hour out and just went and had a bath, because I'm used to working for myself. I'm used to being by myself 5 days a week, and I crack on with work, and I do work really hard, but that time is normally alone, and I just don't have that now. So be prepared for not having any time for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Find yourself some time. If you just need to let them play on the Xbox or anything like that, then just go for it. Now, I will add at the very end, my children are 9 and 11, so they are very much used to routine. If your children are younger, then maybe you don't need to be quite so strict with routine. You probably can have things being a bit more fluid, especially if they're very young. You don't even need to have that much structure at all. But for kind of a 9 and 11-year-old who are year 4 and year 6, they're so used to that structure, and it actually helps them to stay within that structure too. Those are all my tips. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. All right, bye.